now and again. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. This is episode 10. Yeah, it's a record. Uh, a personal best for us. Yeah, yeah, it is. I wonder we should look at the statistics and see how many like people try to do something and give up before they get to like the 10th thing, like that first milestone of whatever it is. I bet we could find that out. Episode 7 and give up. They just give up. Um oh, we already got people watching and liking and sharing and hanging out.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. Oh, share so I can share.
Uh-oh. Do we not have
Uh,
sound?
I hope not, cause I think my mic was off.
Oh,
Don't tell nobody that. You got sound okay. Maybe they heard
yeah, I
my
got
loud
sound.
mouth from over there on
That's what it was.
yours.
Your mic was
I'm
off.
just,
Man,
oh, they didn't hear me at all, did they?
I don't know if they did or not. It's going to be okay. We'll just make it. Well, it's the 10th episode. We're not professionals yet.
Not yet. We still getting there. Give us an episode 50.
Just wait for it. Wait for it.
Episode
Wait for it.
50.
Wait for it. Man, we got a good show tonight, though. I'm stoked
Very
about
good.
it. I'm stoked about it.
Very good.
We got a special guest for y'all who's got some big things going on, so that's going to be cool. But first, let's talk about how your week was, Ray.
Oh man, Ray out here grinding, doing the work thing, doing the hey, you know what? This been a very interesting week, man. I've been spending a lot of time outside with the neighborhood kids now.
Yeah.
Playing. And I really like, bringing the basketball hoop outside. We got like a little 7 feet tall basketball hoop, just something for the kids. My kids are shortest. Uh, and the kids just been outside playing on it. And I know we still in the pandemic. We're being safe, people. It is what it is. It's
Yeah, but you can go
kids. You
outside,
can go
man.
outside. So
I got to talk about that, by the way. You go ahead.
I just been out there with them and a couple of the kids in the neighborhood, ranging from like 5 to 8. Then we got the little kids out there 2, 3 years old, but just working with them and talking to them and talking about practicing a basketball shot.
Yeah.
Showing another kid who, how to throw the football a little bit. He's got kind of this sidewinder throw, so I'm just giving him some pointers, and it really just got me back into the mind state of like coaching, and not just coaching, but like teaching and training and really remembering that used to be something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like growing up playing football and things like that, I always wanted to coach, especially playing pee wee, youth football, and the type of coaches that I had, which I learned a lot from. I still look back and reflect on things that they said and kind of like use that in life. So it's been one of those reflective weeks, being outside with the kids and really just kind of getting back into that mind state of like, oh, you do love life and you want to teach out here. You want to see the next generation grow and be the best that they can be, because that opportunity was afforded to me. So
yeah.
In that regard, I mean, I've been having a good week. Other than that, I'm just out here grinding every day.
Just doing the work.
At 4 o'clock and getting my workout in and doing my
4
thing.
o'clock.
I still ain't had nobody jump on that 5-mile run with me at 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Though I know
I don't know
it's
how
early,
many people
but
you're gonna get to do that.
I might have to find me some soldiers out here that's used to that boot
I'm
camp
telling
life, and
I'm telling
hop
you.
on that thing with me or something, or do it on your own time and just shoot me in it. Let me know you did it. So I'm looking for some participants. 5-mile run on a Friday. Find the time, make the time. It is what it is.
I got you.
I've been decent, brother. How about you, man? Tell me something good. Tell me we sold 1,000.
Tell me something good. No, we didn't sell 1,000 shirts this week, man. That'd be nice though, right?
Man,
if we could just get some people to buy.
It's
if we
coming.
could get 1,000 people to buy one shirt,
It's
I
coming.
mean, come on, we should be able to do this. We got some feedback, but we're gonna have to go along with it. We just gonna have to press on. It's actually been a good week, man. I've been busy. You saw all the boxes last week. Most of those boxes are still here.
Yeah.
But they're almost done now. Like the boxes that I had last week all have print on them now. They're not just blank shirts. But I still got to touch them all another time before they can go back to their respective owners. But yeah, I actually started looking at some buildings and stuff too, man. I'm gonna expand. We're gonna get into an actual shop
Word.
instead of the old shed in the backyard.
Yeah, we
you
just
know?
came from out
Yeah.
the shed. I know it probably get a little hot
You
up in
see
that
how it
thing,
gets hot.
but
You can understand now.
yeah.
Now that you've seen it, how it can get real hot.
Oh
in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it is
oven
what it
runs
is.
at like 400 degrees.
Hey,
And so that thing runs all day in 400 degrees in that little bitty space,
yeah.
and it just turns the whole thing into an oven.
It's a sauna, man.
Yeah,
To
it's
hell with the
wild,
gym.
bro.
I just need to come over here and sweat it
Yeah,
out.
you just come to work for me, man. You want
On the real. What I was about to say though, we both read Shoe Dog, and Phil Knight started in his basement some damn where, not
Yeah.
the trunk of his car.
Ain't that
so,
right? Selling
with
shoes
Tiger
out the
shoes.
trunk. Yep.
And then grew to Nike.
That was good. Did you
Nike
finish
wasn't,
it?
Yeah, I finished it. Nike wasn't even his idea.
The
It was
name?
it was another worker's idea.
Yeah.
But it takes that drive of the leader
But they were kind of more of
pump
like
everybody.
they were a real team though.
Oh
you
yeah,
know what
definitely.
I mean? Like those guys were real.
1,000%.
Like,
I mean, Phil just had that drive and that vision
yeah,
and that go getter's mentality.
that's right.
And sometimes it takes that one go getter to drag the workers
That's
out
right.
of that working
That's right.
mentality.
How'd you like
and into the entrepreneur world?
The end of the book where he talks about how all the Nike offices have the same phone number that spell out Nike
Yes,
on
in every country.
In every country, no matter where you go, every Nike office in the world has the same last four digits of the phone
cool.
number. But that same number reversed is the fastest mile time that Steve Prefontaine ever ran.
Prefontaine.
How crazy is
crazy.
stuff like that, man?
It's cool.
Like,
it feels like it's divine.
It's serendipitous. Yeah, it's like wild. The first time I listened to that book, I was just like, that's crazy stuff.
That's nuts.
And then like the connection of like the first shoes that they sold were called Tigers, and Tiger Woods was a thing. Like,
oh yeah,
the Jordan River,
Tiger
Michael
Woods,
Jordan,
yeah.
Kobe Japan, and Kobe Bryant, and like he makes all these connections, man. It was so wild.
It's nuts. It's divine, man.
Yeah,
it's gotta be
crazy. It's crazy.
He talks about luck.
Definitely.
It's a good book. Y'all get that. Shoe Dog.
Shoe Dog. It's called. Yeah, SHOEDOG. Shoe Dog.
So, like we were saying, we do have a special.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get the guest
on.
And
we were talking about this, not Christian rapper, but rapper, who is a Christian pastor,
who makes
man of God.
Yeah, who makes essentially gospel rap, right? I guess we'll let him explain a little more about what he does. So yeah, I'm gonna bring on Michael MCB Beach. You make sure you turn your mic on if you haven't already for me.
Yo, what's up?
Make sure. Hang on. Wait. Make sure we get. There it goes.
Is
it's
he live?
Switching over now.
How y'all doing?
Over.
MCB, what's happening with you, baby?
Chilling, man. Just getting ready for this album. Gearing up for this album release party.
Oh yeah,
just working.
That's coming up next weekend, right?
August 22nd, 6 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m.
1 week from today.
Free food, free event. Y'all can come out and have the experience.
This is down at the community center.
The Finiac Springs.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool, man. I'll be there.
So what's the name of the album? Hungry.
Well, man, hungry.
Get it out here.
Are you hungry?
I'm very hungry. Everybody should be hungry. Hungry for something. Success, ice cream, whatever. But you gotta have an appetite to.
Always hungry for ice cream.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you. Hey, that is. You do like ice cream, but you gotta have an appetite for success out here, man. You can't, or otherwise you get complacent. So appetite for whatever you want. So anyway, tell our audience a little bit about yourself, my man. Where you from? How you get started in the music business? We'll start with where you're from and what's your life like.
Raising Finiac, seven sisters and brothers.
Whoa.
So I had a big
family.
Man,
Pops was busy.
Yeah,
no, but go ahead.
I got a beautiful wife, beautiful son. Work for the school district now, man. Do music for my culture, for my people. They can understand where we coming from and where we need to go.
I like that.
That's what I'm trying to do. Like people just get so complacent in what everybody else wants to do, but I just do what feels good to me, feels good to myself. There's so many people hurting out here.
You gotta do what makes your soul happy. Yeah, man. That's right. I like that.
So you say you work for the school. What do you do for the school?
I am a custodian.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
man.
man.
So you get to be around the youth all day, every day.
Day,
you know,
man,
in a position to teach. Yeah.
People hurting today, man, and people are so caught up in themselves that we forget about the people around us, and that's where we supposed to show the love and show the grace of God. But we we fail to realize that because we're so scared of everything else going on in the world. If we just sit back and show a little bit of love and compassion toward everybody around us, it'd be a better place. It'd be a better place to come to be in, you know.
That's a definite. I mean, you got to share your testimony with people, so that people can see the glory of God and
Yeah,
see that
man.
light. So that's a good thing.
That's right.
What got you started? I mean, obviously, I can kind of tell, but how did you get started doing music? What brought you to
Um,
the music world?
well, my daddy, he's always sung, and my brothers, they play piano, drum, guitar, and I was like, I like music, and I got my start. But then my start came from going through some heartache and going through some trials, and realizing how God brought me through. Being in situations that were compromising, and God brought me out of those situations. So now I give Him the honor and I give Him the praise by just giving back what He gave me, my talent and my gift. So I'm not gonna like the man. I'm not gonna go bury my gift. I'm gonna expand my gift so the people can know what He's done for me.
Right. So you
That's right.
just looking for a platform
That's it, man.
to share your
Share
testimony is
share
what
what
brought you
Jesus
to the
did for me.
microphone.
Yep.
Word.
I
That's
like
what's
that.
up.
That's good.
That's good reasoning. You
It
know what I'm
is.
saying? So what
I
was
fixed our
your
sound problem, by the way.
if you
Steve
could tell us what
Stevie called us out for not
oh
having our sound right,
it
but I
was
but I fixed
off?
it. We're
Okay, she
good
says
now. We're
much
good now,
better.
y'all. Yeah.
So when did you record your first song? Like how did that process take place? Like
I won a contest in I think like about 2000, and I want to
so
say
you ain't recording like a bait. You ain't. I'm talking about
no.
like
Oh, well,
when you pick up that pen and was
I
like,
recorded. The first time I
oh, I
recorded was
got some
Yeah, you went
skills
in a
at this.
shower
You know what I'm
behind a
saying?
shower
I'm like,
curtain or
that
nothing ever.
you
Like,
just stepped
nah,
out the room on
nah,
the
yeah,
stage.
yeah.
no, man.
Hey, but when
First
you
time,
when you pick up that pen
first time I picked up a pen, man, was like I want to say about 9, 10. Man, I wrote my
Oh yeah.
first song, "Go,"
early,
and that was my
go.
"Go." That's
Okay,
my first ever song I wrote, and then I just liked it, and like just I fell away from it for a while when I went off to college and stuff, doing my own thing, and then I came back to it, and then it's just became like full circle for me now. So it's like I don't necessarily say I'm the best, but I'm one of the best at it. I
yeah,
feel, and that's
There you
how
go.
you gotta feel
yeah. I
about it. Like
mean,
I'm
you perfect
not
your
gonna,
craft.
yeah. So I'm saying I perfected it, and now I think "Hungry" is the best music I probably done released out of all the albums I done released, out of all the music I done did, because it's more of me and it's more of what I want to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And that's the best type of music. I mean, when you hear artists talk about it all the time in terms of, oh, I'm no longer signed to a label. Now I get to do the type of music I want to do
that's it.
and
Right,
express
right.
myself in the
That's
way I
it.
want to express myself. So when you make a music that's, truly representative of yourself and the struggles that you go through and those around you as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
it's the best music.
yeah. That's
You
how
know what I'm saying? I mean, but go ahead.
that's how I feel about it. Like it's just I feel great about this album because like it's just me. It's like every beat was crafted the way I wanted to be crafted. I sat down with my dude Alexander Shot, him Alexander Kinzel, and I sat down with him and I said, man, I just wanted to be with what reflects me, and that's like you said, that's the best kind of music. Like when you can sit down in a place and you can just sit down and write songs that reflect what God brought you from and how He brought you from it, and just it speaks life into your situation before it speaks life into anybody else's situation. That's where I want to make music. You know what I'm saying? It brought me out of dark places, so I
Yeah.
know this music will bring you out of your place,
Yeah.
whatever you're going through.
Hopefully.
I just
Yeah.
don't, yeah, hopefully. I don't want to make music that I just feel like, oh, just throw it on the track and you don't get nothing out of it.
Right.
I don't want to pollute the mind of the younger generation. I
Yeah.
want to inspire the younger generation. I want to let them know that whatever you're going through, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, but eventually it's going to get better.
Right.
Man,
That's
I
how
don't know if y'all
And
know
that's
this or not, but this
inspirational in
man got
itself.
something to say.
Something to say.
He came out here
That's
swinging.
on the real. That's what's up,
Golly.
though.
Give it to him. You a
Eh,
pastor, I can tell.
a little bit.
that's how I was born and raised, man. Like just you give your best at everything you do. Don't sugarcoat it because
Yeah.
that makes somebody else feel happy about it.
Right.
That's right.
I've never understood that in life. Why do we as people sugarcoat stuff because it makes everybody else comfortable around us? Then you're sick to your stomach and you feel some kind of way because you didn't speak the way you needed to speak. because you didn't want to offend nobody. And
Right.
I don't never want to do that. I don't want to offend you, but if it does offend you, let's figure out why it offended you. Let's figure out
That's right.
what happened that it offended you, or you're going through something, or it might have touched you in a way that you need to figure out that situation, but you're not ready to go into that situation and figure it out. So we need to come together. If I ever offend somebody, we need to talk about
Right.
it and
Yeah.
sit down and have that conversation.
So what is if you could speak to it a little bit, I mean one or two, like your testimony and some of the trials that you've
Man,
had to overcome, that led you down this path
man, just
of
run
rapping.
running the streets as a youngin', man.
Yeah.
Just doing my thing when I went out to college,
What
because
college?
went out to the Arts Institute in Jacksonville,
Okay.
and I was just chasing everything. I was chasing the world, chasing women, chasing everything. And I realized I was in a dark place one day where I went into a dream, and I was just falling. And I just couldn't stop falling. Kept waking up in cold sweats and
Hmm.
just kept falling. And then at the end of the dream, when I almost fell to the bottom, like a hand reached down and grabbed me and told me it was gonna be okay, but you got to give it all to me. And in that moment, in that instance, in that time, I just gave it all to God. Going through everything I've been through, from the drinking, the craziness, the stuff I was doing that sent me down the downward spiral. And then I realized that's not who I was. And that's not how I was raised. God just came back and just saved me. He took everything that wasn't like him out of me, and he did surgery on me. And it just made me a better person, and it made me a better human. It made me a better man. And that's why I can be the man my wife needs and my son needs, because God rebuilt me and built me the way he needed to build me.
That God though,
So
It's
man,
that God element.
that's big.
Everybody gets touched by it. It's who answers the call.
that's
Yeah.
right, man. Who
You
answers
know.
the call? You're gonna answer it, or you're gonna run away from it. And I plan on embracing it and getting better every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what's
real
up,
big.
brother.
I like that.
Definitely. So tell us a little bit. So is Hungry your which album is
It's
this
the
for
third
you?
one.
This
It's
your
the third
third
one. It's the
album?
third one.
Third time's a charm.
This is it, man.
Third time's a
This
charm.
is it. This is it.
Yeah.
I got some nice ones on here. I got a couple nice ones I like. I like Broken. I like Hungry. I like Can't Stop, Can't Quit. But you'll get to hear that next week if you come out to the album release party.
Yeah, what y'all got to do?
You'll get to hear Broken. You'll get to hear God Loves You, which I did with my baby sister Nubian. It's just a bunch of good music on this one. It's just like when you hear it, it might speak to your situation, it
Yeah.
might not, but I know it spoke to my situation, and I'm just trying to help somebody get through their situation. As long as I can touch one soul, that's all that matters.
And what
That's
is it?
right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like that. People are confused, man. People are out here trying to get to like this place where they can affect all of these people, or they've got to have this big
Stardom.
audience.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Or this thing. But if your mission is to just spread love, right? And if you change one person's life, it was worth it.
That's all that matters. But
You know what I mean?
but
Like
that's what
changing one person's life is so huge, man.
and that's
Like,
the mindset we have to get on, because the mindset we are on now as people and humans, we want to save everybody. Like when people jump out the gate as a Christian, and I'm just gonna be honest, they jump out, oh, I gotta save everybody.
right.
And then they get burned down, they get tired because everybody ain't gonna change.
You can't give
But you
all
can't-
those people
yeah.
your energy.
Yeah,
Like,
God called you to reach certain people. He's gonna bring those people in your life that you're supposed to reach and touch.
that's right.
So don't be fret that you don't have this gift or people are not listening to you this way. Somebody was touched by you. And that's how I do my music. I might reach 5,000 people, but the 5,000 I didn't reach, somebody else can reach, because that's their calling to reach them people. It's just my calling to do what God called me to do every step of the way. Like, if I'm only supposed to reach one soul one night, that's that one soul that really needed my attention,
That's right.
or who God knew that I could touch. But we get so complacent, we get so in our head space that we got to do more and more and more. But in reality, when we start doing more, how can you give 100% if you spreading it out over 2,000-3,000 people when God just said one?
That's right.
Over one soul, angels in heaven rejoice. We forget that scripture. We forget
True.
that.
Yeah,
And
that's huge,
we
man.
just hear, oh, we got to reach everybody. But Jesus
You
said
can't
just
please
one.
everybody.
That's it, and that's it, man.
I've tried.
I'm trying to tell you, I tried too. We done all tried. We done all tried. So that's
I
not
can't
gonna
please
happen.
anybody.
That's it.
Whoa, slow down there, Tim.
Shoot.
Yeah, so
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
so that's the truth. We can't please everybody, so
You're
we
right.
might as well just
All
keep
you
it
can
moving.
do is put the message out there,
That's it.
and the people are going to receive it how God wants them to receive it at the end of the day. So, like, if your message goes out there and it affects one person, then that's the one person that God was trying to use you to get. If it affects 100 people, then those are the 100 people that God was trying to get you. You know what I mean? That's exactly how. That's the perfect way to think about it, man. I like the way your attitude on that for sure. Because, like,
Truth indeed.
yeah, just do your thing and let God handle the rest.
So are we expecting any music videos coming off the album?
Yes, I
or
got
what's
one.
You
it
got some
work
out already, don't you?
I got
Visuals
one.
are very important in this day and age.
I got
Everybody
one.
looking.
Yeah, I got one called "Walk Around Heaven" right now. It's on YouTube. Just go on
Walk
YouTube.
Around Heaven.
Walk Around Heaven, Michael Beach. That song.
Give it to the people. Give it. Where can we find that on YouTube?
YouTube. Just go search it. It's "Walk Around Heaven," Michael Beach. Produced by Carlos, and Carlos Productions, Los Productions, and Crestview. So y'all go look at that video. That's like
I'll put a link on the.
Shoot them a link.
That's an amazing song. Like that's the first song we thought about. Like shout out to my boy Brick City Jones for producing it, mixing, mastering.
Oh, you know Brick City Jones?
Yeah, man.
I know Brick City Jones.
Man, Brick, man. That's my boy, man.
Hey, he used to run with my boy Chris Ferran, Unique Beats.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
man.
what's. It's a small world.
That's my boy, man.
Y'all are losing
Anyway,
me. I don't know.
I just seen him post that he had a gold record. He did a song with Mystical, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
It ain't really what we talking about tonight.
No,
but
we're
he did
good. You trying to say Mystical's not what we're talking about? I like Mystical. I always like Mystical back in the day.
I like Mystical too, man.
That's my boy. He mixed and mastered the whole album. So like,
that's what's up. Well, shout out to him.
When we did this, the first song actually we did. So we did all the songs over a weekend, but this the first one we did that weekend. He was like, man, I think that's special, and I was like, I think that's special too. So if y'all, I mean, it's just a feel good song. Like it's just one day I'll get to see the people I lost again. One day I'll get to walk around heaven with it. And so I hope y'all just go look at it and enjoy it.
It's a good song. I've heard it.
I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Mom got me on this supernatural kick, man. I'm all in heaven and hell and demons and angels right now.
That show's wild, man. I've seen a few episodes.
I'm like, man, this is what life is like.
Yeah.
People are demons, vampires, ghouls, and no. Anyway,
whoa.
But no, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Definitely gonna have to check out the video. So this show you got coming up, man. I seen the ticket on it. Actually, a guy that I used to work with back in the day. He going by a different rap name now, but look like you got some talent on there. Anything you want to tell us about the artists you got performing at the showcase?
They just good people, man.
Yeah.
You know, Devon, I grew up with him. He's amazing at what he does. You got God's Child, who done changed his life around, man. He's another amazing artist.
I had him back when he was pro.
Yeah. You got Terrence. You got Terrence who's gonna be on the 1 and 2s. I gotta do Xavier Allen. He's gonna come do the lights, man, and just Big Angel. He's coming all the way from Mobile, man. That's my boy. And it's just a collection of artists, you know, that are just amazing at what they do. It's different styles, but it's all the same mission and goal. But it's different styles. And I love all their music, and they're just amazing artists in their own respectable right.
Yeah. That's what's up.
That's what you need, man. You gotta, because kind of the same thing as that we just talked about. Like, you know, you might reach one person, but there might be somebody else in the building that's gonna accept. Kind of like what we talked about with Jalen too. Like people go to different churches because they accept the word differently. They receive the word differently. You know, you have a mix of different types of artists coming up on that stage throughout the night, and each person's going to receive that message a little bit differently. And it's
that's the thing.
One person might hit somebody else that you didn't hit or whatever.
And that's what people. That's another thing people fail to realize. Everybody wants it for themselves, but everybody got to eat.
Yeah.
And everybody, like you said, can't reach everybody. So you got to have a network to where, you know, you have somebody for everybody. And that's what we try to do. I try to do is have somebody for everybody, because people might not like my style because it's more forward. People might like the punchlines, but it's still the same mission. It's the same message. So that's what it's all about. It's about getting that one soul.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
and speaking on different styles, I know we were touching on it before the show. the thought of Lecrae going a little bit more secular. This is news to me. And just the way you talking about how it gets delivered and how people want to hear it or how they receive it. What's our thoughts on that? And really like the naming of, oh, this is a Christian rapper or a gospel rapper, as opposed to just being a rapper that raps about something different than shooting, doing drugs, this or that. You know, what are your thoughts on that in terms of, like I said, people receiving the message different? Because I like the way Lecrae did. Like he sound like, yeah, any rap I listen to from Kanye
Yeah,
West to Ti, it's just the content. Even Bizzle, like I said earlier, those are the two that I listen to that you would call Christian rappers. But I've created songs that could be deemed gospel rapper, but I wouldn't consider myself a Christian rapper. So, what are your thoughts on that in
and
terms
that's
of?
just that's a label the world has given
Yeah,
given us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you know my story, you know who I am. That's all that matters. My music is just a platform so I can spread Jesus a little bit better. But I'm gonna talk about my testimony. It might get a little gritty. I'm
right.
gonna talk about my pain. I'm gonna talk about what I've been through. So it's not gonna always be yes, Jesus loves me. It's not always gonna be precious Lord, take my hand.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not always
To
gonna be.
me, that's gospel
That's what
music.
I'm saying.
Like,
It's
when
not
you
gonna
sing
be
praise to the
it's
Lord,
not gonna always be feel good music. I gotta tell you where I came from so you
right,
can get a little bit of my inside story. So yes, I'm a Christian saved by grace, and God is who I believe in. I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in denomination. I believe in Jesus,
right.
and that's what I believe in, and that's who I am. I'm not saying I'm out here drinking. I'm not out here smoking. I'm not doing none of that. I believe in who Jesus is, and
Yeah,
my music is gonna reflect that. But I am a rapper. I am who I use my gift to spread the love of Jesus, and I spread it through, all kind of ways. I might tell you how I was broken and I was messed up, but He healed me. I'm not. It's not like I said. It's not always gonna be feel good music, and
right.
that's what people want. That's what they see when they see a
It can't
gospel
be.
rapper. That's what they see when they see
Yeah.
us.
I
They put
mean,
that label
Jesus
on.
turned water into wine.
I'm
I mean,
saying,
people sipped a little something during Jesus' time.
and
I
people don't
mean,
understand Jesus got beat. We don't want to
you
talk
know,
about. We don't want to talk about when Jesus got beat. We want to just talk about what He can do for us and how He sets us free. But we don't want to talk about the pain He had to endure. We don't want to. We don't want to make anybody uncomfortable in their own shoes. So they be like, "Oh, I'm a Christian," and that's all they get. But they won't never. Sometimes now in churches they don't even do testimony service no more
yeah.
because it gets too deep. But I need to know where you
But that's
came
what, yeah,
from
in order
so I
to
can. So in order, so
get
we.
you where you need to go,
That's it.
so you can relate.
That's
you
it.
know?
You have to be
That's it.
relatable if you want
Yeah,
to attract somebody to the mission, to the into the kingdom. Then you have to go where they are and bring them out of it.
right.
That's it,
And
man.
they're not gonna listen to you and follow you out if you've never been there.
Right.
Because
You
they
ain't
already.
even never walked in my, you
Right.
ain't,
You
That's
gotta
it.
have been
not
where
only
they're
have you
at.
not walked in my shoes, you ain't even crossed my path.
Right. You never
That's
even
it.
even been in the same neighborhood
You
as
know what I'm
me.
saying?
You know what I mean? So like, unless
You
you've
need to
been
get out these
there,
projects. Man, you ever been to the
right? You've
projects?
never
Some
even
people
been to the
love it. You
projects. Yeah.
ever
That's
been
it.
to the trailer park? Some people
That's
love
it,
it.
man.
It's
Because like
all
I
they
like I
know.
tell people,
Yeah.
I live in Crystal, and I live in the Gap. They call it the hood. But the thing is, there's good people where I live.
Yeah.
There's great people where I live. I'm not saying where I you can't never forget where you came from,
No.
Right.
and that's what we feel as like Christian. Some Christian people, man, they get into a mindset where oh you can't be, but the hood is where we need to be.
That's right.
The
You know
block is where
what?
we need to be.
And you absolutely right. And that's why I see people made fun of that Jesus is King album by Kanye. But I love that one song where he's got the song where he's saying, but have you heard from the Christians?
Right.
They'll be the first ones to judge me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And it's like, let he who has not sinned cast the first stone,
Right.
please.
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
You
So
know what I'm
that's
saying?
why
Like,
people get in that place where they feel like they cast their stones and they cast them and they forget about the plank in their own eye. They forget
yeah.
about what they've been through. You know what I'm
Eminem
saying?
said, hey, you're
And
two good parents.
but that's what I'm saying. Like we forget, and that's why I don't want nobody to ever forget. I don't want to ever forget what I've been through, what I've struggled.
You
I want
can't.
to be able to help you get through what you're going through by my testimony, by what I've been through. How can we say we Christians and we love God if we never go to the places? Like I read a Bible verse a couple of weeks ago when it said, "I became like the Jews to bring the Jews home. I became like the sick to draw them in. I became like these people so I could get them home.
Right.
No, I didn't dwell in their sin. I didn't do the sin they did, but I went to their place and I
That's right.
went and sat with them so I could tell them who I
Exactly.
am. But we get so high and mighty in the church, man. People get so high and mighty. Oh no. If
I can't go
he
there.
looks a certain way, I don't need
I
to be
can't
there.
touch that.
Yeah, I don't need to be there.
Hey, go ahead. Hey, no, but if you've ever, I mean, you grew up in a certain place. Look, man, it's sometimes I go home and I got my own family to treat me like they think I'm bougie. I actually had an incident,
I
you know what I'm
mean,
saying? I'm a little great now. Where, I'm at a relative's house and I come from the same place to a certain, and they feel like I'm somewhere in life and I'm like, I'm still struggling like the rest of you. I mean, I got a little something, but it got to the point where I had to make the comment of we ain't bougie. Like you know what I'm saying? We'll do this or whatever we was doing, and you do have people in the church that gain that mentality, but on the flip side, you have people that are still where you come from that already think you have that mentality for that reason. People get stuff in life, and then they all of a sudden act like they too good for the people that
right.
they
To
come
go
from.
back.
And
Yeah.
that's
You know
it.
what I'm
And
saying?
that's what I'm talking
And
about.
it's like that could
That
never
ain't
be
God.
you. That ain't God.
That
You know
ain't
what I'm
God
saying? It's like
because
I ain't too good for you. I just happen to be lucky
yeah.
and blessed
But
enough for whatever reason God chose me. It could have been you. It could have been any of us.
that's it.
But with that blessing comes responsibility.
They don't
That's the
understand
part
it.
they
They
don't
don't
And
understand
understand.
that's tougher than you living your life every
Man,
day just smoking and drinking. You got it easy.
you got it easy.
And if you're
Other
not
people have
ready,
something to live up to.
if you're not ready for that responsibility, God's not going to bring
Not
you
gonna
out of
give
that
it to you.
situation.
And
And
that's
that's the thing that people miss is it's like, they look at you as like, oh, you got out of the trap
Yeah.
or whatever. Now you're bougie,
And all the
but
rappers rap
really,
about it.
yeah, of
You know what I'm
course,
saying? Can't go home.
right.
Tupac and what's my favorite song by Pac, man?
Why are you asking me what your favorite song
Come
by
on,
Pac is? Come on.
with my man, we was once two brothers
Of
of
the
a
same
same
kind.
kind. Quick to holler at a hoochie with the same line.
Shorty want to be a thug?
Nah, that
It's
ain't
not
Shorty
that one.
wanna
It's
be a
the
thug.
other
See,
one. I
I'm
ain't
caught
mad
up in
at you.
my I ain't mad
I
at
ain't
you. I'm
mad
caught up
at
in
you.
my thoughts and forgot it. But he talks about it in that song about how you moved out the hood. So, we ain't homies now, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of rappers talk about that. I
but
mean,
Yep.
see, this is another thing, and I want to tell people this. Some people can't go where you going.
no,
Right.
they
And
can't.
we got to get in that mindset. We try to hold on to people, and we try to make people feel comfortable. But where God leading you or wherever you're going in life,
They can't
some
go.
people can't go. Some people not
Think
ready.
about it.
Some people not equipped. They not ready yet,
Moses led that charge all the way until
and
it
they
was time to go to the promised land.
Yep.
And
yep.
then when they got to where they were supposed to be, Moses was like, I can't cross over.
That's right.
So and so, you got to take them the
That's
rest of
right.
the way. Even Moses,
Yep.
That's right.
one
Yep.
of the greatest prophets,
Some
right,
people can't.
probably right behind the Son of God, Jesus, could not cross over into the promise. You ask yourself, why? Just because of what you just said. Not everybody can
Yep.
go
And
where
that's
God has promised to
and
certain
that's
people.
and that's something my wife taught me. Like she taught me that she's like, baby, sometimes you try to hold on to things, but sometimes people can't go where you
You got to
going.
let them go.
And that gets hard in a
It's
sense.
tough.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
But when you realize that, it's like, okay, I can come back and help you. I can come back and do stuff for you if you need help. But where I'm trying to go, you're not ready yet.
You ain't ready.
You ain't ready yet. Like I work a full time job and still come home and practice and do what I need to do. And I make sure that I promote my music, make sure I'm doing what I gotta do to get to where I need to be. Some people, man, I talk to, homies, they don't do that. They
Right.
not ready yet. They not ready to go on. They not ready to work as hard as I'm willing to work. They not willing to go as far as I'm willing to go. They not ready to move when sometimes the bank account don't right, but you still gotta go because
Right.
that's an opportunity. So them people are not ready. You got to be able to say, okay, well, we got to split ties. But that's why so many people miss their blessing.
Yeah.
They miss their season. They miss their mark. Is because they try to hold on to everybody that's around them, and
Yeah.
they keep on trying to do for them people and keep on. You know what I'm saying? Keep on
I
trying to
can
hold
give
on.
you so many examples of
And
people that I know like
and
that. Oh,
and
even myself to a
and
certain
that's
extent.
even myself to a certain extent. But that's what I'm saying. We
Well,
get
there
to
was a time when none of us, we're all not ready
Right.
until we're
yeah,
ready.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you
That's
might have
it.
saw somebody else get out or do
Mm,
this thing that you wanted to do or whatever, and you were like, man, you get that jealousy or whatever, and you're
Yeah.
like, man, like that's what I wanted to do, and now they're doing it,
Jealousy is
and
a hell of a sin.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey.
But yeah, I mean, all of us were I don't know what's the word I'm looking. I'm just gonna say not ready at some point. You know what I mean? Like ill-equipped,
Ill
I
prepared.
guess,
Yeah. Ill
ill-prepared
equipped.
at
Yeah.
and
some
that's the
point.
thing. But
Yep.
that's the thing. And then those people don't see that when they get equipped and they get ready, then it'll be their time.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to wait.
Yeah.
That's how it is. They like you said, they get mad at you because you decided, okay, you were gonna move away and do something better for
Right.
yourself. But now they mad at you because you did that because you didn't take them with you. But
Yeah.
they simply not ready yet, right?
Yeah.
Because they still where they at.
Yep.
And that's simple.
No
When
time
it's
for
your
a
time,
change.
it's your time.
That's it.
It's your time. Since we do have a man of God here, and I know we've been talking about the music thing, and I'm gonna kind of jump off subject
Go
because
ahead.
there's something in the current news that I still think revolves around what we talking about, and want to get your perspective on it, especially with all that's going on with the protests. I know we had our man Jalen Jones on the show, and just wanted to get your intake, on this rhetoric going around because here's the argument out here right now. You know, uh, we have this argument with authority taking life and people making a fuss about it, and somehow it keeps getting equated to this black versus white thing. And the latest thing is this meme that everyone's sharing around about the young white kid that was killed by a black man. And the black guy got arrested. He's being charged, whatnot. And now have a new argument in terms of, okay, where's all the protest and uprising over this? So just in talking about current affairs, just want to get your intake as a man of God, pastor, Christian man, obviously a black man if y'all can't see. uh but no, just want to get a outside take on that because I'll tell you the way I feel about it, and that I feel like people are missing the point on the argument, because civilians, which we've talked about, civilians killing civilians. Here's the expectation: when a civilian kills a civilian, even I expect the law enforcement to investigate the crime, find the criminal, and lock his ass up.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But then when you turn on the news and it's authority, you're like, well, what happened in this case? Why did he have to kill him? And then you see somebody that got shot in the back, and it's like, well, damn, did he really need to shoot him in the back
But
or kneel on his neck? So that's my take. Where it's like, it's not an equivalent argument to say, hey, this guy killed this white kid, but justice is gonna be served on him swiftly. And probably worse when he gets to jail, because if you ain't never been to jail before, never heard stories about what happens to people that do things to children. Uh, man, newsflash, they don't have it very pleasant. They probably wish they would die. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's the
So
truth. That's the truth. But I agree with you on that. They all people try to bring the arguments and put them together. But just like the little white boy got arrested, so the got shot in the head. His killer was found. He's in jail. He's been. He's gonna be prosecuted. He's not coming home.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You got the black on black crime, and everybody wants to throw that argument in there. If I shoot a black person right now, he he's going. I'm going to jail. I'm gonna be prosecuted swiftly when
Right.
they find me.
That's right.
Okay. White on white crime. They gonna find me, and they white on white crime. They're gonna find me, prosecute me swiftly. Right.
That's right.
facts.
Okay.
It doesn't
So
matter.
let's
You're
just go.
civilian on civilian.
Let's do that. Let's just go ahead and put that out there
Yeah,
so nobody
human
won't say
on
that.
human.
Now, with the cops and authority on humans, on regular people, on
Civilians.
civilians, I feel like it's not done fairly because There's no way. I'm not even the Black Lives Matter movement.
Throw that out the
Let's
window.
throw
We're
that
not
out.
even talking
Let's
about
throw that
that.
out the window because that ain't.
I saw a march today. We'll talk about after this.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
but I'm not worrying about that. I'm worrying about this. There are bad people in every profession, but we get to the point where we feel like some cops feel like they're above the law, and that's a problem.
They make it in movies all the time.
That's a
Steven
problem.
Seagal did a whole thing above
That's
the law.
that's
The
a
whole movie.
The name of the movie.
that's a problem because now the people that's supposed to protect me, I'm scared of.
Right.
White, black, Puerto Rican, Mexican, whatever color you're scared of
don't matter.
because you don't know what they're finna do to you. And then what happens is, like you said, you go on a no knock warning, you kill a woman. You shoot her more than twice, more than 3 times. You unload the clip on this lady. That's a problem for me as a man of God and a human because she didn't do nothing wrong. But her killer still ain't been in justice. Now, if that's me, you, or Tim,
Any one of us sitting in this
we go
room,
in somebody's house.
Yeah.
They gonna arrest us the next day.
Real
Hands
quick.
down, real quick.
So that's a problem. The justice system has failed us as people, not race, as people.
That's
The
right.
justice system has failed us because now you got these cops walking around here, hands on their gun, ready to shoot. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't did nothing.
Yep.
But we're terrified. We don't know what to do. I heard a story a few weeks back. A kid that never had no crime. He never did nothing wrong. He jumped out the car and ran.
Right.
Because
he didn't know.
he didn't know. It wasn't. He was like
He was scared.
Scared.
Yep.
And that's the scary thing.
And they said, why did you run?
Right.
I'm scared.
When you get to the point where you're scared, where a large portion of the population, black and white, everybody, there are white people that are just as scared of the cops as black people.
Trust me.
When you get to the point where the people that you're supposed to protect are scared of you,
that's a problem.
You did something wrong.
That's just like
something went wrong along the way.
That's just and this is what it is. That's just like, and everybody somebody might get mad at me on this podcast, but that's just like
we don't care
slavery.
We don't care if they get mad at you, Blake.
Right? That's just like slavery. I'm gonna beat you enough to where you're scared of me you won't run.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot enough for you humans.
And I hate the argument of
I'm gonna shoot enough for you humans.
It's so crazy.
So you are gonna be compliant when I see you.
And it's so crazy when our people say, "Well,
I agree.
Just raise your kids not to break the law." I'm like, do you know how many laws can be broken at any given time?
You can be
incidentally
and still get killed by the cops.
Sleep.
you could be on your couch,
not only
watching
was
TV,
walking into your own apartment.
Since we brought up the Breonna Taylor thing, since she was an EMT, she was an emergency services
responder
professional.
Yeah.
So not only was she a law-abiding citizen, she's one of your team.
Yeah.
And you still busted in the apartment and killed her, and she hadn't done
like you
wrong.
should have your info on who lives here. So yeah, it's.
And then, what was his name? Was it Botham Jean? Was the guy that went into his own apartment?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but the cop was in his
house.
Like, how did you get in here?
You didn't hear about that? It was a couple years ago.
Yeah,
it was a white cop who went in the wrong apartment.
A female cop
thought it was her apartment. Went in, she was drunk or whatever. I think is what the case was. I don't know that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. He comes home from work or whatever.
At his own
she
crib.
Thinks that somebody comes into her apartment and shoots him.
Imagine the surprise on this guy's face when that first bullet hit him, and he like, "This is my own crib." Like, he thinking the burglar, but his crib.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me clear this up. Let's throw George. Let's not throw George Floyd out the window.
No, I know what you're saying.
Let's just put him to the side real quick. All right, they say he was on drugs and everything. Okay, let's put him to the side. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't matter. Trayvon Martin. That doesn't matter. No matter what happened, no matter what they were doing in that moment, you are trained to de-escalate the situation.
You should be trained.
I don't think they train. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
They're
supposed to be trained to de-escalate the situation.
Yeah.
But you're riling somebody up.
It's like the guy.
You're scaring me. So now, guess what I'm finna do? I'm finna do something.
It's like the guy that just got killed in South Central Texas where we talked about on the last show with our man Chase,
Yep.
and he got out the car and because somebody called, said this guy was pointing the gun at the female, but they were outside smoking crack, doing whatever they was doing, smoking in the car. How many people ain't hotboxing their car if you ever smoked before? Anyway, so they called the police, said he was pointing a gun at her, and the police show up. Naturally, guns drawn. If you hear weapons on the scene, you trying to figure out. But the guy gets out, puts his hands up, steps out in front of the door. He didn't close the door, but steps out in front of it because he's nervous. It's like, shit, I'm just out here getting high. Where the hell y'all come from? He has no idea people call the police on him, which I've been in this situation, like totally just smoking a blunt, and all of a sudden the police show up, and I'm like, where y'all come from? And they say, well, we got a call. And I'm like, from who? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing?
But see, that's what I said.
So but they show up, guns drawn. He's like, man, y'all making me nervous. Like,
Right.
can you put your guns down? My hands up. Like, at least put your guns down. Because even if you put your gun down but still hold it, well, no, it's not a problem.
You're still
okay prepared
there.
if he tries to pull something out, but it's like, okay, look, we'll do you a solid and we'll take the barrel off of you, but you need to lay on the ground and follow our commands. Now, if he not following your commands, you put the barrel back on his ass.
Right.
Like, bro, you being too sneaky. But they didn't even take the guns off of him. And then as they wouldn't take the guns off of him, so now he's really nervous and he starts itching back towards the driver's, like, from in front of the door back to the seat, and they're like, fire on him, and they hit him with a rubber bullet. So they hit him in the side with a rubber bullet. Now he freaked out. He jumps back in the car, tries to drive off. Cop, pop, pop. Hit him with two as he's driving off. They didn't shoot the tires out. They didn't do none of that. They just hit him with two as he's driving off. If you got that type of precision aim,
You could have shot out.
You could have shot out
That's
the tires.
That's it. But see, that's what I like. You said, I think they not trained. I think they need men because if your first instinct is to kill a man when you could have shot out the tire or did anything else, that's a problem. That makes people scared of you.
That's right.
A problem.
And that's a form of slavery to me. Yeah. Because I feel like if you're gonna shoot me, I'm doing whatever you say.
Man, Jack.
It ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it.
Right.
Because the first thing in your mind is, I am gonna kill you. Are like, me and my wife got stopped. Me and my wife got stopped in the VAR, and the cop already had his hand on his gun when he came to the window.
I just don't understand.
And he was like, sorry, your license and registration, sir. You don't need nothing from me because I'm not driving. She's driving. You don't need nothing from me. Right. You already on my side of the window. You haven't even came to her side of the window. Crazy. You're already ready to shoot me. You're already ready to do something crazy. And I'm here, calm as all get out. But you're ready already. With your hand on your gun, like, this is going to be a problem. I'm ready to shoot.
It's a threatening.
That is a threatening motion. If I came up to you with my hand on your gun, or I had a bat in my hand ready to swing at you, I feel like that's going to freak you out.
I'm already tensed up.
That's going to freak you out. And then you're going to do something crazy.
Situations.
So anyway,
that's exactly like the Philando Castile situation. There was no need for that cop to even have his gun out.
No.
It was a traffic stop.
Yeah.
You don't need a gun out for a traffic stop, bro. Like, I don't understand.
Unless you know
something
we don't know.
Unless you know something we don't know.
What's on that computer screen is
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Unless you don't know.
Anyway, another thing I want to hit on, I saw a march today, man. This is crazy, right?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
So this is a different type of march that I've seen in Hugo, Minnesota. One of my nephews shared it on Facebook, right? And I get to watching it, and I'm like, man, this is some powerful stuff, right? So they marched down into this community, like this little cul-de-sac community, nice houses, everywhere, people out there barbecuing, doing their thing. And instead of marching on the streets, they marched to this cop's house, Bob Crow, whatever his name was, and apparently he's a chief of police, and he's been. They say he's been allowing his officers to go down into the inner city and terrorize people. He's the leader of the clown show and allowing these officers to do this. He himself has been in cases involved in police brutality, and they're like, Bob, no, gotta go, blah, 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 right? And they're doing all of this. And they've got their main speaker out there, and he's addressing the crowd and addressing the neighborhood. And kind of saying some things like, telling them what's been happening and why this guy needs to be fired and off the police force. saying how they're allowing white supremacists to scare politicians and protect their dream world or whatever you want to call it or whatnot. Which is all, that's peaceful protesting, all fine and dandy. I thought it was interesting to be inside of a neighborhood, and their reasoning was, you know, this man comes to our neighborhood every day and allows his officers to come to our neighborhood every day and terrorize our citizens every day. And y'all out here upset because we came and messed up Saturday. These officers in our neighborhood every day
Right.
terrorizing our youth, our citizens, right? So that was all. I'm like, this is powerful. That's all fine and dandy with me. What I thought was kind of weird and strange at the end, and there were cops out there, making sure that nothing happened, was uh, you know, some of the leaders that were speaking started addressing some of the citizens personally, and then they started getting vulgar with them, calling them ugly bees, and
Yeah, then
and then not only that, they took all their sign. Well, they went onto the man's yard and kneeled, you know, on his grass and stuff like that in front of the flag that he had hanging, and they start saying all the die on private property, and then they put all of their signs that they had that they were carrying on his driveways. Now I'm like, damn, y'all littering. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not a stupid law because you want to keep places clean, and then they pulled out a pinata, like this random pinata, looked like a little baby Trump pinata or something, and they start beating it, and then on his driveway, and all his candy and stuff falls out. It was like weird, and I'm like, what is
Are you sure
happening?
this wasn't a dream you were having or
No,
something?
bro,
You having
like,
fever dreams,
check
bro?
it. It sound like it, don't it? Some like it kind of got weird at the end, and I'm like, what is going on right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what's happening in this particular protest right now with what these people are doing, and is this too brazen? Like, where do you draw the line between, okay, you peacefully protesting and you making your point? Because I thought it was powerful to hit that neighborhood the way that they hit it, and say what they said, and the reasoning behind why they did it that way. Like, these cops come back to their nice neighborhood, big houses out here, and get back in the dream world, and then they come down to the hood and terrorize and do whatever the hell they want to do, and come back and toss back a beer in their neighborhood. And hey, look, I've lived in those type of neighborhoods and do now, where there's all type of, I promise you, illegal activity going on that's going unchecked.
yeah.
You understand me?
But
So
this thing too. This thing too, Ray, is that everything like you said, the protest was powerful, and then everything they did afterwards. That's what it is. We don't know when to stop. Sometimes.
right, yeah, I thought they went a
And
little bit overboard. I
that's
ain't
the
gonna lie
problem.
to
That's
you.
right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
We
You
gotta be.
gotta
I
look
agree.
at it for yourself. But go ahead, go ahead.
Once you get on somebody's property or start destroying somebody's
You starting to do
property,
too much.
you're
starting
doing
to do
too
too-
much.
You're doing
Yeah.
too much, and that's
Yeah.
what I say.
I
Like,
agree.
I don't. I believe in protest, and I believe in marching, and I believe in rights. I don't believe in destroying people.
He said
property.
rights,
No.
not riots, y'all. He said rights, not riots.
Rights.
Yeah, I say I don't believe in people. I don't believe in all the burning down buildings and all the riots and stuff. But I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna say this. Like I said, some cops just, man, they bad cops, and
They
I
make
tell
movies about it, for crying
and
out
I say
loud.
and I tell my
And
wife
art
this. I
imitates
tell my
life.
wife this. I
Art
say this.
imitates
I
life.
say everybody says,
Shit.
oh, but it's just that one cop. But then
No, it's
then I
not.
break it down like this. I say, okay, maybe the second shift or the third shift don't know about it. But if you're a cop in that same building as the same cop that just did something wrong, everybody knows.
You know about it. Yeah.
So all y'all were bad cops.
Everybody.
All y'all were bad cops now at that moment.
Yeah.
Because you not snitching on him makes you a bad cop. You let him get away with that murder and not saying nothing about it.
But
Is the bad cop, because like you said, when they walked in Breonna Taylor house, the other 4 or 5 cops knew.
That's right.
How's he still home?
right.
If everybody does their job and are real law-abiding citizens, somebody should have said something.
It's easy. Get the fuck off his neck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Push him
saying?
over.
Like, push him over.
That's what I'm saying.
As a citizen, if I come push him over, I'm gonna get arrested.
You gonna
for
get
assault a
arrested.
police officer. But another officer,
didn't say nothing.
Ain't nothing gonna
All
happen to
four of
you,
them
bro.
were bad at that moment.
You know what I'm
Even
saying?
if they had
Now
stealth,
they might send you into a bad drug deal or something might happen to you, but see, now that's them just being bad cops double time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that happens.
Yeah.
They set their own up. I mean, just like in any neighborhood, the society needs to be better.
I want to
Anyway, go ahead.
I want to
Tim.
get y'all's
Swap us.
opinion on something. We're running close to the end of the show, but I want to get y'all's opinion on something since you mentioned your kids being outside, but y'all are being safe still and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Talk about COVID. I want to bring up some stuff that I found and see what y'all think about this. So we kind of talked about it one time before a little bit how most of the stuff you see on the media is like wear your mask, wear your gloves, wash your hands, but nobody's talking about improve your immune system, right? Like, become a healthier person, and then you might not even have to worry about it so much.
Right.
You know what I mean? They want to throw out band-aids instead of long-term fixes.
Yeah.
But anyway, somebody comes along and decides, let's see if there's actually more people dying than normally would be dying every year, right? So what he found out was the average age of people dying of COVID in the United States is 78 years old. Okay? The average life expectancy of humans in the United States is 78 years old.
Right.
So his conclusion was possibly these people were probably going to be dying anyway. Because if not, we would see a skew in that age somewhere. Right? If this thing was killing a bunch of people that it shouldn't be,
it would be more younger.
Right. It would be people. So what I did was I looked back I'm going to tell you about from 2014 until now. Excuse me. The average growth rate of deaths in the United States since 2014 has been about 1.2% per year. Okay? 1.2% more people died in 15 than in 14, and in 16 than in 15, etc. That number's the same so far for 2020.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
More people aren't dying this year than what would normally have died this year anyway.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. So that being said, and we probably have talked numerous times about how the media is blowing this thing up out of proportion, probably, all this kind of stuff. What do you guys think, given that information, that there's actually not more people dying than what would normally have died up until this point in the year anyway?
Yeah. But like with COVID, man, like I said, they are blowing it out of proportion. I believe people getting sick and people are dying. I know people that done had it.
Right.
But I'm saying this: everybody I know that had it done beat it,
right,
and are better.
Yeah. Right.
But what I've heard yesterday, like this is news to me, because like I don't pertain to news all the time, because you get what you're looking for.
That's right.
So I was on news yesterday. How accurate are the tests in Florida? Because 4,000 new cases were backlogged down south in Miami. Those 4,000 cases just came to light a few days ago.
Right.
They held on to those cases.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't. And then I heard another report where, I read, and I was looking at another report that said that they don't do the recovery rate. They only do
positive.
So now how accurate is it? That's the thing. If we got 200,000 people that don't recover, but all you seeing is 500,000 that got it.
Right.
All they're reporting are cases
and deaths.
Yeah.
And deaths. They're not reporting no recovery and stuff.
Obviously, there's a correlation between if these people died and these people didn't. Like, you can kind of assume that they recovered or haven't died yet, I guess. Yeah. But the thing about the death rate is that people that are dying anyway are being called COVID deaths.
Right.
No matter what. Right, no matter what.
Yeah.
And they've said that
out
loud.
Yeah, they've admitted to that.
Like, which is crazy.
Yeah, they say
to me
they don't say they say COVID complications. Complications of COVID.
That woman, that doctor.
One guy in Florida died in a motorcycle crash.
They
And they
said
called it
COVID.
COVID.
out
Yeah.
and said if they had it at the
Yeah.
time of death or
If you
tested
had
positive, no
COVID,
matter what the cause, she
you
said.
died from
She
COVID.
said so. If someone came in with a gunshot wound, I believe,
COVID.
and they tested positive and they died from the gunshot wound, it would be counted as a COVID death. Which I'm
COVID.
pretty sure that woman lost her job immediately after.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Uh, but
Well, she
God
blew
bless
the
her.
top off the secret,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
But
of course they let
but-
her. They were
but
like,
to
"Sorry,
answer-
ma'am."
to answer your question, I mean, I do believe it's getting blown out of proportion, and we talked about that. I'm not gonna be long in my response, but I also talked about the idea that America being on the test with the world in terms of how we will respond in terms of taking care of each other as humans and respecting humanity and kind of falling in line. Whatever that, I don't know what that test would result in or who would be testing, but like I said, if we were under the microscope of the UN nations or whoever the
Right.
hell in terms of how we would respect the lives of other humans and humanity. So when it comes time to lay waste to a land, they're like, okay, we can get rid of these Americans now. They're just way out of fucking control. They're
Yeah,
just,
that's
Yeah,
they
but
won't. They
anyway,
don't care about each
they
other.
don't care about anybody.
So,
So
yeah.
we can get rid of some of them. So that's the only thing that I was thinking about. But in terms of the COVID itself, I feel like it's getting blown way out of proportion. But I will take the precautions to show my respect for humanity.
Right.
So,
And this is the thing I was saying about it too. Like, if it's so bad, why are so many people having to go to work? Like in other countries,
Right, yeah.
if it was so bad in other countries, they shut the whole place down.
Yeah.
So
Right.
many people still was at work at restaurants. Everything. People cooked at home in other
You can't-
countries.
You can't control the
That's what I'm
Americans.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So like, if it's that bad,
You can't.
really, that's what I'm saying.
And somebody else posted a meme like, you can't send your kids to school without having your shot records. But here we are without a vaccine for disease, and we're like, it's okay to go back to school, even though they don't have shot records for COVID. But we couldn't send our kids to daycare without shot records. But they can go back to school without a vaccine
Because
for a
we all
deadly
know
virus. That's why I said it's not about the virus, it's about the test.
Not
We-
that deadly.
We
Yeah,
all know
God
we
test everybody.
we all know what it really
Even
is
nations.
about. We all really know what it is about. It's
Yeah.
about money.
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
Well, at the end of the day,
Cause,
man,
cause the kids are
everything-
money.
Yeah.
If they at home, you ain't getting no money
Yeah.
for 'em.
that's true.
They
Yeah.
gotta
And if
be
you
in
ain't
school.
driving them through the school to work to jail pipeline, they might get too smart out here.
Yeah.
They might start farming again and shit.
That's
Like,
actually a really interesting point.
I'm telling you, if you ain't driving
I
them through the
actually
school
really
to
like
work
that.
pipeline,
Yeah.
If you're not getting them indoctrinated,
if you
into
ain't
the,
indoctrinating them, we got a problem.
yeah, this homeschool
You know
thing,
what
we
I'm
can't be
saying?
letting these kids stay home.
They parents
We
might
gotta
start
get 'em
teaching them
into
some
the-
real shit about taxes and
That's
books
taxation
and
is
shit
tough,
like
by the way.
that. Like we got to get these
That's-
kids back in the pipeline.
That's super
That's real.
interesting,
That's real.
man.
I teach my son a lot of stuff that other parents don't teach their son, and a lot of stuff that's not real, and a lot of stuff that people say is fake.
Yeah.
He only 3, but that's because I don't want him to grow up in a world where somebody lies.
Right. And I say that knowing that I'm gonna send my kids to school, but you better believe when we gonna know what he learning. And when he come
That's it.
home and
That's
learn
it.
something that I'm like, he learning other things as well, he gonna unlearn it. Or you gotta do what you gotta do to get through in this world until you got some of your own. You understand me? So you need to go get educated.
Got to.
You know what I'm saying? That's the
Because
basics.
they tell you some truths.
Yeah.
They ain't
But
gonna tell
are
you
they
all
really-
truths.
Like Hollywood.
They gonna tell you some truths.
Are they really educating kids though, man? Like,
I mean,
that's a
past
whole
eighth-
other show.
past 8th grade,
Like,
you don't need.
bruh.
you
Yeah.
know.
Always-
Yeah.
It always bothered me. This is something that just like popped into my head that I've talked about a bunch of times, but never on the show. It always bothered me that they taught you like the exact same thing in like your grammar class in
Yeah.
school every year.
Yeah.
It was the exact same stuff. And it's like, how do y'all not know
They
this?
training you for
already?
repetitiveness.
Like, man, I
They
just
training
couldn't
you for
handle it, bro. Like,
repetitiveness, getting up every
that's
day.
yeah.
which
and now
is
that you look
Some
back,
people have to. You have to. I mean, in order to survive, you have to do these type of things sometimes, especially when you living in a controlled environment. You know what I'm saying? When you living in a controlled environment, your days are going to be repetitive.
Like a slave.
For the most part, your days are gonna
Yeah,
be repetitive. Can your brain mentally deal with repeating itself on the regular? See, no, entrepreneurs like, shit, I gotta do something different today. I might have to get up and run. I might have to get up and go. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to do something different,
And it can't. And when
and
it
you
can't, we
can't.
call it depression.
You call it
And so we
depression,
give you a pill for it.
right? You have
wow.
to.
Really, what you need to do is go your ass
You gotta
outside.
go outside,
Like
B.
you, you're
And now
stuck
they
in a
got us
freaking
social
cubicle.
social distancing.
You
What your man
know,
say that you there's no such thing as social distancing.
right? Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Either you're socializing or you
Or you're
ain't.
distancing. Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Like if I don't call look, in my life, look, if I don't call somebody, she 9 times out of 10, I ain't getting no call. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know
Right,
how that
right.
is for other people.
Your phone only works one way.
My phone only works one
Yeah,
way 98% of the time.
yeah,
If
yeah.
I don't call somebody, it's very rare that I'm receiving a call. There's probably like 3 people that may call me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If it ain't a
that's accurate.
business
Yeah.
related thing, and I don't know how that is for other people.
No,
You
you're
know,
right. It's
especially
true
the
across
real
the board.
people. I'm pretty sure all of us sitting in this room have the same experience because we thinking.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm
true
saying?
across the
People that
board.
ain't thinking and just out here passing time, getting high, getting call each other all the time.
Mhm.
Right, they got time for that.
And they want to know where the next high at.
Yeah,
Who got it?
yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
I used to live in that world. And when I was in that world, the phone stayed buzzing.
Yeah.
But
The
when you
phone used to
step
ring all the
into a
time.
thinking world, it's like
Once you
people don't
stop
want to
serving those people, though, they don't need to
people
call
don't
you
want
no
to
more.
deal with
That's the
realism.
thing, because that's the thing.
They want to live in the dream
Doing the same. Everybody, man, phone call everything. We finna go party over here.
all the
Do
time.
this over here. We finna go
All the
hang
time.
out all night. Did it, done it. Okay, cool. But now you got it in a better place. No, man, I don't want to
And
call
the
Michael because he
right.
might tell me about something.
And the real ones need to congregate more with the real ones because sometimes we get so caught up and busy trying to figure out life. I know I do.
Yeah,
I be so
yeah,
busy and
yes.
caught up like trying to,
Brain going
break
100
it
times an
down
hour.
and
Yeah,
figure out life. Like, what are we
yeah,
really doing out
yeah,
here?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
saying?
They be going every day.
Like,
My wife be like,
what are
Michael,
we?
what's going on?
What's
I
going
be thinking,
on?
I'm talking to myself sometimes. I'm over there just thinking because I'm trying to figure out what's next move. How do I do this? How do I get this over here?
And other folks just living in the
Living,
dream.
living.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They comfortable in the dream and they just like,
I'm not
I don't
comfortable.
want to be taken out of my comfort zone in my dream world by talking to your two
Nobody
want to be
does.
real ass.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, so anyway, that's a whole
Yeah,
nother topic,
that's a
brother.
whole nother topic. We can get into it one night though, for sure. We can get into it one night for sure.
We at that hour, but yeah, we gonna scale back and get back to the music. Before we get up out of here, just let us know again, Mike. MC Beach, MCB Beach. Let me get that right. Where the show is gonna be. Where the people can find you at. I want you to go ahead and give the people your social media sites where they can tune in with you and get in tune and see what you got going on from here on
You
out.
can follow me on Facebook, Michael MCB Beach. Instagram, I'm on there. You can follow me on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes,
And is it
places like
all the
that.
same?
Yeah,
Is all the handles
it's
the
We
gonna
got
be
your
same?
it's gonna be my
Instagram up
it's
on
gonna
the
be Michael
screen,
Beach.
so yeah.
Yeah, just you can contact me there if you need anything. I'm willing to talk to you. No matter what time, what day, hour. If you want to talk about something real, I'm willing to talk to you. August 22nd, album release party, 6 p.m. It's an experience. I promise you don't want to miss it. Free food, free event, because I know so many people ain't got food out here, so we're just trying to give something back to the community. So y'all
That's
just come
awesome.
on out and have a good time with us.
And I
Yeah,
believe the grayscale is gonna be at that show.
we
Half of the
are.
grayscale is gonna be live at that
I'm gonna
show.
be there. I'm gonna try to do the show live from the show. Between Thieves will be there.
Nice. I'm gonna be in
I'll
Disney.
probably Ray taking off. He going to Disney World for all of us.
Y'all pray for me. They keeping it clean
I'm
though.
gonna be on stage at some point. I'm sure
Nice.
that'll be fun.
I will try to chime in
I
though.
don't get to
Like real
perform a
talk,
lot,
depending on
but
what time we get
yeah, we'll
done.
make it happen.
I'll try to chime in and even if I can't connect, via I'll get on the live and see what your boys got going on. And
Absolutely.
Grayscale will be in the building, so it sounds like it's gonna be a great event. I missed the stage personally. I wish I was there. I know I told her, I was like, we don't go to Disney, man. I'm gonna come out there. I might have to spit a verse bird. I don't know if you've seen Hamilton, but we keep
Yeah.
quoting Hamilton at
Oh
the
man, it's
house.
so good. I
Uh
started watching it again the other night.
but yeah, man, good luck to you guys at the show, man. It's a blessing. Glad that you guys are gonna be feeding the people out there. So y'all make sure y'all get outside. It's at the Definiac Springs Community Center again. All the people that I know down there, from my time spent living there, if you can, definitely try to make it out. Be safe, keep your distance, wear your mask if necessary. But I'm sure Mike and everybody that's organizing it gonna have it all situated and
Yeah.
set up nice for you. So y'all definitely get out and support, man. Support a good cause, support good music, support the people. That's all.
Amen.
That's all I really got to say.
That's it, man. Yeah, for
Any
sure.
last words, Mike? You
Y'all
good,
be blessed. Y'all have a good night.
Tim?
Yeah, man. I just want to say thanks for coming on the show, man.
No
Definitely.
I had a good time. I like your enthusiasm, bro.
problem.
You was getting at it for a little
Facts.
bit there, man. But yeah,
Preach.
y'all make sure to keep track of the grayscale throughout the week. If you haven't liked the page yet, like the page. I know we got some watchers that aren't normal every week watchers, so make sure you like the grayscale page, share all the stuff. Keep
Gotta have you back
Go
on,
check
man.
us on the
Yeah,
YouTubes
most
and all
definitely.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, go to
definitely.
betweenthievesapparel.com where
Get you
get
one.
where you can get these fly hats.
Rep
I'm
God.
trying to tell you
It's
something.
really that simple. You ain't gotta be perfect.
That's it.
Just gotta rep God, and if you keep that on your heart and mind, you always come back to that center of doing the right thing. So,
Amen.
True that.
that's all I got for the people. I love y'all as always. Thank you for tuning in.